So today I've got this little Bantam 1-layer 84mm knife. Very simple knife this, beautiful locking action as you'd expect from Victorinox. Half lock there for the multi-tool, full lock, and that beautiful stainless steel razor sharp blade. So what I'm going to do with this Bantam today is remove the rear scale, because I want to explore what's behind this scale, as I'd like to modify this 84mm Bantam to allow for a pen to be inserted. Now I know it can be done, but I want to have a little look behind the scenes to see whether I'm comfortable with attempting to do that. So normally you would only be able to get plus scales with a pen included, or for a pen to be inserted, for the 91mm knives. So for that knife you can get plus scales, these being the scales. Effectively the covers are called scales. So you can get what's called plus scale for this size knife that includes the toothpick, the tweezers, and it has another slot with a pen that goes into the body of the scales. But you can only get it in a 91mm size and not in the 84. I'll just show you the scales, because I've got some scales to go onto that particular knife, and I'm not going to completely unwrap it, but that's the plus scales, and you can see it's got 2 slots on this side, the rear, and 1 slot on the front. They're nice, the blue, and this climber is going to end up as a blue knife. You can buy just the scales, but I bought the pack whereby you get the new toothpick, tweezer, and the pen. I've also got some lanyards that I've bought, and for that particular knife, the climber, it's going to have a blue lanyard. Nice. So today is just about exploring behind the rear scale. Now to do this, people just actually get in there and prise the scales off, but it is recommended that you put them in hot water, not boiling, but hot water, just for a minute or two, and then it makes it a little bit easier, because it makes the plastic a little bit softer to come off the 3 brass pins that it attaches to. So we'll just get some water in a bowl and take it from there. So here's some hot water, not boiling, and we're just going to pop the knife in there for a couple of minutes and come back to it in a second. So we'll just leave that now for a couple of minutes, and then we'll prise off that rear scale. Okay guys, so that's been in a couple of minutes now. The water's warm to hot, it's not boiling. So put that to one side. Stick that on there for a moment. And it's the rear scale that I'm going to take off. So I'm just going to remove the toothpick. So I think I'm just going to use the knife to start with from this 84mm Sportsman. And with the toothpick out, I'm just going to gently prise it from there Just using the back edge of the knife. That's come free on the first one. So we'll just put that in now and I'll just pop the rest of it, hopefully. Just gently does it. There you go. So there you go. That's the rear of the Victorinox Bantam removed. And there you can see the slot as it is for the toothpick, which goes in like that. So although there's no hole for a pen, there is space behind the scale with a little bit of adaptation to put and insert a pen. But it involves taking out some of this plastic. In fact, it involves taking out the plastic there, and then cutting a slot here. And I guess that's going to be the delicate part. That's going to come out very easy with probably with a file. But a little bit of care with the slot there. So with the Bantam and the Sportsman, I believe it is possible for me to modify this to be able to put a pen in both knives. So that was really easy to take the scale off. It was a lot easier than I was expecting. I've watched a few videos, so I sort of knew it would come off, but it came off really well. And also the thing with warming the scales up is that there is no little bits of plastic, and these holes that correspond with these brass pins, if you were to take it off in a rather rough fashion, or if you were to take it off and it just didn't quite come off properly, you can find there's little bits of plastic left, tiny shards of plastic, either left in here or falls down onto your bench, or indeed you find it just round these holes here. But there's nothing. With warming it up, it's softened it enough. It doesn't go soft, but it's softened it enough that there's no damage caused to the scale. So that scale will go back on again. And in fact, I'll just give it a little bit of a dry, the knife. Not that it'll matter too much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can push this on by hand. If not, you've got to use some mold grips, obviously with something to protect the scales, or a vise. So I'm just locating the pin, which I have done, and just set it up, line it up with the others. And then, so the first two have clicked straight on. And that's perfect. That's gone back on again perfectly. So I guess with them being new and they've never been off before, it was relatively simple to get them off and simple to put them back on again. Right guys, so that's all it was. Just showed you how to take the scales off, put the scales back on again. Although when I feel brave enough, I'm going to take it back off again and get a little file out. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, please. It all helps. And check out the channel, the rest of the channel. You might find there's some stuff of interest. Thanks a lot. Catch up next time.